know. How far can you read? Help me later. What is this? What is MGTOW? We are men going our own way by forging our own rules. We will allow no bullshit, feminist, social justice warrior, white knighting. What the fuck? Do I really want to read this? Woman takes 100 rights letters to complain she everybody else gets fired. Okay, I'm gonna read until you guys get bored. When I was a kid dear Jeremy, when I was a kid back in the 90s when Spice Girls and owning a pager were goals, #goals, I dreamed of having a car and a credit card in my own apartment. I told my 8-year-old self, this is what it means to be an adult. Now, 17 years later, I have those things, but boy, did I not anticipate a decade and a half ago that a car and a credit card and an apartment would all be symbols of stress, not success. I left college having majored in English literature with a dream to work in media. It was either that or go to law school or become a teacher, but I didn't want to become a cliche or drown in student loans, see? I also desperately needed to leave where I was living. I could get into the details of why, but to sum it up, I wanted to die every single day of my life, and it took me several years to realize it was because of the environment I was in. So I picked the next best place, somewhere close to my dad, since we've never gotten to have much of a relationship, and I like the weather up here. I found a job. I was hired the same day as my interview, in fact, and I put a bunch of debt on a shiny new credit card to afford the move. Coming out of college without much more than freelancing and tutoring under my belt, I felt it was fair that I start out working in the customer support section of Yelp/Eat24 before I'd be qualified to transfer to media. Then, after I had moved and got firmly stuck in this apartment with this debt, I was told I'd have to work in support for an entire year before I'd be able to move to a different department. A whole year of answering calls and talking to customers just for the hope that someday I'd be able to make memes and Twitter jokes about food. If you follow me on Twitter, which you don't, you'd know that these are things I already do. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get back to the situation at hand, shall we? So here I am, 25 years old, balancing all sorts of debt and trying to pave a life for myself that doesn't involve crying in the bathtub every week. Every single one of my coworkers is struggling. They're taking side jobs, they're living at home. One of them started a GoFundMe because she couldn't pay her rent. She ended up... Sorry. No. She ended up leaving the company and moving east, somewhere where minimum wage could double as a living wage. Another wrote on those neat whiteboards we've got on every floor begging for help because he was bound to be homeless in 2 weeks. Fortunately, someone helped him out. At least I think they did. I haven't actually seen him in the past few months. Do you think he's okay? Another guy who got hired and ultimately let go was undoubtedly homeless. He brought a big bag with him and stocked up on all those snacks that you make sure... He brought a big bag with him and stocked up on all those snacks you make sure are on every floor, except in the weekends when the customer support team is working, because we're what makes Eat24 24 hours, 7 days a week, but the team who comes to stock up those snacks in the early hours during my shift are only there Mondays through Fridays, excluding holidays. They get holidays and weekends off. Can you imagine? By and large, our floor pummels through those snacks the fastest and has to roam other floors to find something to eat. Is it because we're gluttons? Maybe. If you starve a pack of wolves and toss them a single steak, will they rip each other to shreds fighting over it? Definitely. I haven't bought groceries since I started this job. Not because I'm lazy, but because I got this 10-pound bag of rice before I moved here, and my meals at home, including the one I'm having as I write this, consist by and large of that. Because I can't afford to buy groceries. Bread is a luxury to me, even though you've got a whole fridge full of it on the 8th floor. But we're not allowed to take any of that home because it's for at-work eating, of which I do a lot. Because 80% of my income goes to paying my rent. Isn't that ironic? Your employee for your food delivery app that you spent $300 million on to buy, $300 million to buy, can't afford to buy food. It's got to be a little ironic, right? No. Let's talk about those benefits, though. They're great. I've got vision, dental, the normal health insurance stuff, and as far as I can tell, I don't have to pay for any of it, except the copays. $20 to see a doctor, get an eye exam, or see a therapist, or get medication. $20 each is pretty neat. If spending $20 didn't determine whether or not you could afford to get to work the next week. Did I tell you about how I got stuck in the East Bay because my credit card, which amazingly allows cash withdrawals, kept getting declined and I didn't have enough money on my BART Clipper card to get to work? Did I tell you that my manager, with full concern and sympathy for my situation, suggested I just drive through Fast Track and get a $35 ticket for it? that I could pay at a later time just so I could get to work? Did I tell you that an employee at CVS overheard my phone call with my manager and then gave me, straight from his wallet, the $6 I needed to drive into work? Do you think CVS pays more than Yelp? I worked a job similar to one at CVS. A manager spends half an hour training you on the cash register. You watch a video, maybe take a brief quiz, and you're fully trained to do the entire job. Did you know that after getting hired back in August, I'm still being trained for the same position I've got? But Marcus at CVS has $6 in his wallet, and I'm picking up coins on the street trying to figure out how I'll be able to pay him back. Speaking of that whole training thing, do you know what the average retention rate of your lowest employees like myself are? Because I haven't been here very long, but it seems like every week the faces change. Do you think it's because the pay your company offers is designed to attract young people with no responsibilities, sort of like the CIA? Except these people don't even throw away their trash because they still live at home and this is their very first job, and they don't have to take an aptitude test like at the CIA. Do you know how many cash coupons I used to give out before I was properly trained? In 1 month, I gave out over $600 to customers for a variety of issues. Now, since I've gotten more training, I've given out about $15 in the past 3 months because I've been able to de-escalate messed up situations using just my customer service skills. Do you think that's a coincidence? Or is the goal to have these free bleeders who throw money at angry customers to calm them down set the standard for the whole company? Do you think there's any point in training a customer service agent to learn and employ customer service skills? Or is it better to attract those first-time employees with their poor habits and lack of work ethic with the same wage part-time employees at C's Candies make for standing by the door in a stupid outfit and handing out free chocolate? Do you think those free chocolates cost $600 a month per employee? Have you ever seen an angry C's Candies customer? You know what I could do with $600 extra a month? For starters, I probably wouldn't have to take money from Marcus at CVS just to get to work. Do I want to read the rest of this? Will you pay my phone bill for me? I just got a text from T-Mobile telling me my bill is due. I got paid yesterday, $733.24 bi-weekly, but I have to save as much of that as possible to pay my rent, $1,245, for my apartment that's 30 miles away from work because it was the cheapest place I could find that had access to the train, which cost me $5.65 one way to get to work. That's $11.30 a day, by the way. I make $8.15 an hour after taxes. I also have to pay my gas and electric bill. Last month it was $120. According to the infograph on PG&E's website, that cost was because I used my heater. I've since stopped using my heater. Have you ever slept fully clothed under several blankets just so you don't get a cold and have to miss work? Have you ever drank a liter of water before going to bed so you could fall asleep without waking up a few hours later with stomach pains because the last time you ate was at work? I woke up today with stomach pains. I made myself a bowl of rice. Look, I'll make you a deal. You don't have to pay my phone bill. I'll just disconnect my phone. And I'll disconnect my home internet too, even though it's the only way I could do work for my freelance gig that I haven't been able to do since I moved here because I'm constantly too stressed to focus on anything but going to sleep as soon as I'm not at work. Should I sell my car? It's not my car, actually. It's my grandpa's. Oh my God. But the back left tire is flat and the front right headlight is out and the registration is due to be renewed in April, and I already know I can't afford any of that. I haven't even gotten an oil change since I started this job in August, but maybe I could find someone on Craigslist who wouldn't mind all of that because they'll look at the dark circles under my eyes and realize I need the cash more than they do. How about this? Instead of telling you all the ways I'm withering away from putting my all into a company that doesn't have my back, I offer some solutions. I emailed Mike, Eat24 CEO, about a few ideas to give back to our community for the holidays. He, along with someone named Patty, politely turned them down, but maybe you could repurpose them. Originally, I suggested that Eat24 and Yelp employees volunteer at local soup kitchens and food banks to give back to our Bay Area community. I see on your Twitter that you care deeply about the homeless epidemic in our city, while also helping the different departments meet and mingle. Maybe instead you can help set up something to allow Eat24 and Yelp employees to get food from local food banks and soup kitchens. I'm pretty proficient at rice, but some hot soup would sure make for not being able to afford to use my heater. Originally, I suggested that Eat24 offer a matching donation with customers where they can choose a donation amount during checkout, and Eat24/Yelp would match it and donate those profits to a national food program. Maybe instead, you can let customers choose a donation amount during checkout and divide those proceeds among your employees who spend more than 60% of their income on rent. The ideal percent is 30%. As I said, I spend 80%. What do you spend 80% of your income on? I hear your net worth is somewhere between $111 and $222 million. That's a whole lot of rice. Originally, I suggested that Eat24 offers special coupon codes where half of the code's value goes to charity. Maybe instead you can give half the code's value to helping employees who live across the bay pay their transit fares. Mine are $226 a month. According to this website, you've got a pretty nice house in the East Bay. Have you ever been stranded inside a CVS because you can't afford to get to work? How much do you pay your gardeners to keep that lawn and lovely backyard looking so neat? I did notice, and maybe this was just a fluke, that Yelp has stopped stocking up on those awful flavored coconut waters. Was that Mike's suggestion? Because I did include, half facetiously in that email that he and Patty so politely rejected, that Yelp could save about $24,000 in 2 months if the company stopped restocking flavored coconut waters since no one drinks them.
Maybe she should start sucking dicks for money. She might be able to find a nice sugar daddy who will pay her rent if she practices enough. At the very least, she won't have to drive 30 miles to work. She could do in calls worth.
Because they taste like the bitter remorse of accepting a job that can't pay a living wage, and everyone kept falling over into their fetal position and hyperventilating about their life's worth, it really cut into the productivity that all those new hires are so prolific at avoiding. I wonder what it would be like if I made $24,000 more annually. I could probably get the headlight fixed on my car, and the flat tire, and maybe even get the oil changed and renewed registration. But I don't want to dream too extravagantly. Maybe you could cut out all the coconut waters altogether.
Sounds like she just needs a sugar daddy. On second thoughts, I've seen her Twitter. Marcus ain't paying more than $6 for that.
Maybe you could cut out on the coconut. You could probably cut back on a lot of the drinks and snacks that are stocked on every single floor. I mean, I could handle losing out on pistachio nuts if I was getting paid enough to afford groceries. No one really eats the pistachios anyway. Have you ever tried answering the phone 50 times an hour while eating pistachios? Those hard shells really get in the way of talking to hundreds of customers in restaurants a day. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I know they're not worth your time. Did you know that the average American earns enough money that the time they would spend picking up a penny costs more than the penny's worth? I pick up every penny I see, which I think explains why sharing these thoughts is worth my time, even if they're not yours. Your friend in food, Talia. As of 5:43 PST, I have been officially let go from the company. This was entirely unplanned, but any help until I find new employment would be extremely appreciated. My PayPal is paypal.me/TaliaJane. My Venmo is Talia Jane, no hyphen. Square Cash is cash.me. Thank you so much for helping my story be heard. This is an example. Oh! Wow, this is an example of somebody who's lived like lived a really privileged life, being thrown face first into the real fucking world. Holy shit. How did I not know about it? I never heard about this. Destiny, I can kind of sympathize with her. She's poor, she fucked up, but she's blaming the wrong people. It's not really the CEO's fault. They make more money than her. The fault lies in the hugely oversaturated job market of media people. I actually completely disagree. I guess, like, if you were to try to find a fault, I would blame either schools for not preparing children for life, or I would blame the parents for bad parenting, I guess, if you were looking to assign blame to someone other than her on who fucked up here. The problem now, while there may be problems in the job market and there may be problems with this company, this girl, she fucked up. She fucked up in so many different ways. She fucked up. Like, she fucked up. It really didn't matter. She could have gotten a degree in petroleum engineering and she could have still fucked up this bad. So we can go through here.
This is the dankest dungeon.
She could try being a booby streamer on Twitch. It works great for people who have no real-life skills. Cough, Tiger Lily, cough, Peppy.
Okay, so, like, let me go through a few of the mistakes that she made, okay? And I'm not even going to be super judgmental, okay? But she made a lot of mistakes, okay? So, first mistake, I'm not even going to say that getting the degree in English literature was a mistake, because it's possible that that degree could turn into a job in media or marketing, okay? But one, she moved to a new area without having a job secured, okay? That's a really... Now, I know that everybody's a little bit different, but for me personally, I would never, ever, ever do that. Well, if I was single and I didn't have a kid, I might consider it if I was feeling really risky and adventurous and I thought I had a good shot at doing things. But why to just move across the fucking country to a new place that's expensive to live in and that's highly competitive, right? Because she moved to the Bay Area, right? So she moved to a place with no job lockdown that is a highly competitive market with tons of people with tons of tech degrees and tons of STEM degrees and lots of experience that you're working against. And she moved into a place that was very, very expensive. Without a job lockdown, that's a recipe for disaster. Again, it really didn't matter what degree that she got in school. That's why I'm not going to be hard on her getting an English degree. She could have gotten any fucking engineering degree, and she could be just as well in any. She could have gotten a comp sci, computer engineering, whatever fuck. She could have gotten any other degree and been just as fucked. For her to move to a very expensive place to live and not have a job locked down, that's just a recipe for disaster. Yeah, it's just a bad idea. So then to go from that to having no idea how to manage her finances, why would you get an apartment that's 80% of your rent? Why would you do that? Why would you ever get something so absurdly expensive? She couldn't find anything cheaper? 30 miles away from work? Is that commute even worth it? She says it costs her $12 in transport costs a day? Why would you get a job that far away from where you live? Why would you move that far away from your job? If both of those things were impossible, why move there? Why get a job there? Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, the problem with this girl is that she just made really, really, really bad life choices. It really has nothing to do with the company or, yeah, you can't really blame the company for anything here. She just made really, really bad choices. Got him. Oh shit, am I gonna get banned again? TLDR, 25-year-old English major moves to San Francisco with nothing but her cats and a dream. Finds life expensive after renting an apartment by herself and not getting $100,000 straight off the bat. Decided to write an article blaming her company for bad decisions. Yep. What was the article that people kept telling me to read? Destiny, here is a response to it. 29-year-old millennial. Ugh, I hate that tag. Rips 25-year-old Yelp employee who got fired after complaining about her salary. It sounds like you've hit some real post-Haitian earthquake style hard times. So maybe some advice to help you drink the incredibly expensive bourbon you posted on your Instagram account and eat that bag of rice, which was the only thing you could afford.
I lived in San Francisco for 3 years and I would never go back. The cost of living is absolutely unreal, and this woman is completely at her own fault. That city is a festering money sink that should be stay away from. Except the food, that shit stank.
Nice memes. She lives alone? Wait, does this chick live alone in an apartment? So she has no roommates either? What? All these people. Oh no! Is this chick gonna get like 100,000? Is this chick gonna get like $500,000? This chick is gonna get like $500,000 in donations, isn't she? I bet she is. Oh no. Oh my god, she is. Oh my god, she is. Oh no. Okay. Maybe not. Hopefully not. Oh god. Oh, I think this is the same kind of bread that I get. 8 grams of protein per 2 slices. No, I don't think I get this. This looks dank as fuck. Holy shit.
Truly, this is the dankest dungeon.
I'm a Brit bonger and live 30 minutes from London. It's cheaper to pay £400 in trains a month and £400 rent than to live there. The cost of living is so large and wages not that high. Poor people shipped in to serve the rich. Bonus meme ye.
Why would you move?
You want penis?
And she has 2 cats? I thought that was just a meme. I thought the guy was memeing. Oh my god. Fucking kill me. Oh, where's President Donald Pump in chat? She's a Hillary supporter. Okay, I'm done. I'm just gonna get more mad. Okay. I think it's my right as an American citizen that I should go and move to the most expensive, one of the most expensive cities in the world. Really, right? You would say that? Probably in the world?